This is the FCS Football Podcast presented by the Believe Podcast Network. I'm Sean Anderson, joined by Joe DeLeone, and I'm opening today. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to say a word about Joe DeLeone. I'm going to go on a 4-minute filibuster, people.
Oh,
I'm gonna
don't you dare.
Don't you dare. Look at him. Look how...
Don't you dare.
Hey, look at Mr. Sensitive over here.
No.
After the Tuesday episode, he didn't like that I brought up that it took me 43 seconds to get a word in, so he has to also interject, which is what I didn't do during his open. I sat patiently and waited for me to introduce him.
Wait.
Joe has introduced me as a myriad of things.
You always butt in when I open. It's like 10 seconds in every time, and you butt in. Don't act like it's.
You find the tape, and I'll you find that tape, and I'll believe you.
Last week you did it.
Find the tape.
Oh God,
it's there if it's there.
Get some better lighting. Get some better lighting.
I like the dark.
I'm gonna send you a ring light.
No.
Yes.
This is the Week 2 FCS preview presented by Believe Podcast Network. We're FCS football broadcasters, played college football. I guess Joe always likes to point out that we lived together for 3 years.
You got hurt really upset one time when I didn't mention it, so now I mention it every time.
You said like colleague or something, or I'm joined by, like you didn't even introduce me. It was like we weren't even friends.
I barely know you.
I'm like, well, I guess. We spent, I don't know how many continuous hours per day together for 4 years, whether it be driving to internships, managing clubs, doing other broadcasting stuff. And Joe one time decides to introduce me as just Sean Anderson. Yeah. Didn't think that was really fair.
Well, is it not your name?
It is. But then aside from saying, with my partner, broadcast partner, however you want to introduce me, in a professional manner, Sean Anderson, that'd be great. I introduce you as Joe DeLeone, at Joe DeLeone on Twitter if you want to follow him. He had a lot of tweets this weekend. No bangers, though. He was on a real hot streak of bangers. I'm just saying you were real hot a little bit ago with banger after banger. And this time, not as many bangers.
I got a couple 70s. That's pretty good metrics for me.
A couple 70s?
Yeah, I got a couple of 50s. Plus, I had one that was in the 70s after the South Dakota State win. So
maybe
South Dakota State fans, they love me.
I can't wait for them to meet you in person.
If we make it out there.
Oh, God, we still got to do that. And I'm not when I say we still got to do that, I'm talking about planning the trip and not actually enjoying the trip. I am not looking forward to the trip. We're very much excited about it and for it, but the planning stage. It's the renting a car, the hotel.
I think we should just walk. We could. I mean, how far apart is stuff in South Dakota?
Let's do some mental math here. And I do. The show is presented by BetOnline, so we will get to that in a moment. But Joe, let's do some mental math, okay? We went to school in Rhode Island, right?
Mm-hmm.
We played in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Remember how much we liked walking around campus in November?
It was a very pleasant experience.
Now, let's take it to South Dakota. I've never heard anybody say, South Dakota, winters aren't that bad.
When have you heard anyone say anything about South Dakota?
I've never heard them say, winters aren't that bad. Actually, no, I might get a winter house up there. I thought it was going to be bad. It's not bad. No, it's going to be freezing cold. I'd like to be in a car. I don't think that's too much to ask. I'm not asking anybody to get me a car or provide me a ride. But for myself, I will pay for the rental car so that I can have heat at some times.
I'm sure somebody would be willing to pick us up. We've had a lot of people and I finally responded to a good handful. We've had a lot of people offer a good handful.
Can they have hams for us? I'd like to get full off of that.
I'm sure if we ask somebody to pick us up, they'd be willing to do it, is my point.
Or stop trying to juice the listeners. I'm trying to have a good time.
Someone offered us brisket.
If I told these people how much you make, they would be aghast that you were asking for free rides.
How much
I'll tell them right now.
I don't make very much money. What are you talking about?
I'll tell them right now.
I make as much as you do.
It'll drive them crazy.
Neither of us make much money.
It's all the listeners out there. One day I'll tell you how much Joe DeLeone is making, and then you'll stop listening because you couldn't believe
most of my money goes towards my damn
on.
overpriced rent, which is why I'm moving out of this horrible city.
Just let me tell him the number.
No. No.
Speaking of numbers, here we go. We got the NFL season coming up. We got college football well in action. And you know where you should go to for that? Bet Online. It's that time of the year again. It's Thursday. This episode is dropping on Thursday, right?
Yes.
It's Thursday. We got NFL on tonight. First game on... This episode is dropping before the NFL game, right?
Yeah. Why didn't you do the NFL Game Pass?
We
Reed. Is that what you're doing, or is this Bet Online? I don't know
Bet
what
Online.
you're doing.
I don't even know if we have it. I was supposed to have something regarding NFL Game Pass, but I have not received anything.
Do the read. Holy shit.
No, there we go. Buddy doesn't get to open. Now he's swearing all over the place.
Just
Perfect.
do the read.
It's that time of year again, and all eyes are turning to football as teams are back on the gridiron tonight. Look how I do this, because I'm speaking on a Thursday. To start the football season, as always, BetOnline is your number one spot for all the pro and college football action this season. Get all the updated odds, props, and contests, including online's biggest $500,000 NFL mega contest, the world's largest $200,000 NFL Survivor contest is open now also at BetOnline. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 100% welcome bonus. Take advantage of their opening day super promo. That's tonight. Make a bet on the Thursday, tonight, September 9th season opener between Super Bowl champion Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys. If you lose your wager, it will be refunded up to $25 tonight for new customers only when signing up and using promo code NFL100. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts.
And speaking of tonight, though, if you're looking for a way to tune into the game, and actually it's a nationally broadcast game, it doesn't matter, but if you want to watch your favorite team play this weekend and you don't know how to do it, NFL Game Pass is where you want to go to. NFL.com/Game Pass is great source. I'm glad that they restructured it that you can actually watch games with it, and it's not just film. Don't like that they took the film off of it, but that is a separate issue and a problem that I have with NFL Game Pass. But Sean, we've got one really good FCS game that we're going to be previewing this week. And I want to focus on this this one because we've got a lot of FCS games this week. We could spend a lot of time talking about Mercer, Alabama, because I'm sure that one's going to be a banger. But points pretty comparable to Alabama, right? You think that was a good warm-up for Alabama?
Jeez. They smoked Miami.
Yeah. Sean,
Derek King, QB1. Okay. All right, I got you, Ryan. I hear you loud and clear.
Did he say that?
No, I think he's a Carson Strong guy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he is a Carson Strong guy. He doesn't listen to our podcast. The one game that stands out to me, though, this weekend, between two teams that lost this past week against FBS squads, but still looked pretty impressive in the process of it. I'm referring to Central Arkansas playing Missouri State. So Central Arkansas lost week 1 to Arkansas State, in-state kind of rival. That's, a very good FBS program. They got beat somewhat handedly, but they put up some really good stat lines with their usual trio. But the opposite of that, Missouri State loses to Oklahoma State. And that one originally looked like a blowout, ends up being a close-fought battle. I think it was only like a 1 or a 2 score game. So this is going to be a very underrated game despite both teams not being ranked. And I think at the end of the season, we'll be talking about these teams in contention for the playoffs, both of them.
I have mixed feelings about Central Arkansas. I have a lot of positive feelings that revolve around them. Feelings, nice, Sean. Obviously thinking of entrees. Food. Nice dinner. Veal joke. You still there?
Yeah.
Central Arkansas last year, they have probably 2 of my top 10 favorite players in the FCS, in Lawan Winningham and Tyler Hudson. But Braylon Smith was not Braylon Smith last year. And I know it was the spring, and I know they played in the fall, and I know they did this and that, but it was not what we expected out of him, especially being a veteran leader on that team, being as talented as he has the ability to be. It's going to rely on him to get them on to the playoffs, because obviously someone's going to have to get Winningham and Hudson the ball. Hopefully Smith is able to bounce back and have the year that we expect him to have. And if he does, then Missouri State really won't stand much of a chance because the offense for Central Arkansas always has the opportunity to go for 40. They just do. They just have too much talent, too much speed. But we got to be able to get the ball down the field. And that's what I'm looking at with this game. And that's what I'm looking at for the season with Central Arkansas.
Yeah, and I think that the big thing here, what always makes, I think, any battle with Central Arkansas involved an interesting one, is the cast of three guys that they have in their passing game. DeLeone Winningham, Tyler Hudson, Braylon Smith. And we were joking before the show that it feels like it's been 8 years since Braylon Smith has been at Central Arkansas, because we were talking about him when he was a redshirt junior, when we were seniors. And here we are, he's still there. That first game, I don't think is going to be super indicative, and he still threw for 3 touchdowns. Is not going to be indicative of how he's going to play against some of these FCS teams, because again, Arkansas State is a good FBS team. They're not as good as like a Washington that Montana beat last week, but still they're going to struggle against a team like that. Central Arkansas, they are going to be high powered. I think that what makes this game fun is that they are going to put up they're capable of putting up a lot of points through the passing game, and they're facing this Missouri State team that locked down Oklahoma State, who is notoriously a high-scoring, high-powered passing offense the whole time Mike Gundy has been there. So that's the matchup that we're dealing with. A really good secondary, a really good defense, facing off against one of the most prolific passing groups in the FCS right now.
Now, if you were looking at that Missouri State game before they played, you would have thought that Oklahoma State was going to put up 60 on them, just because, not a discredit to Missouri State, but Oklahoma State's very good, right, Joe? Strong offenses.
Yeah, they're a quality team.
I was at work, and I was actually getting nervous that I was going to have to roll in the Missouri State feed in case of an upset. So if that doesn't indicate how close this team actually was, when I got not the bosses, but the higher ups saying, hey, keep an eye on this. They get one more score, you're going to have to find another computer. I'm like, oh, well, we're all out here. I got to go down to a studio or something.
Regardless, how many computers were you working off of?
All of them. College football Saturdays, we have, I don't know, like 8 stations. I'm using all of them to roll in radio feeds and this and that, and especially if there's upsets, if it's not just being broadcast right onto the network, then I have to find the radio station. Also, college football teams post where the game will be played on the radio. I know that a lot of people are more focused on the TV, but some of us have other jobs where it's really important for us to get the radio call. So if there's anybody listening, it'd be nice if you gave out the station ID every now and then. But shoot, yeah, no, Missouri State definitely put up a fight, enough to at least get the hairs going on the back of your neck saying, oh, wow, is Oklahoma State not like that? And it's not like they're not. Missouri State was just playing very, very well.
Right. And this game's going to come down to, if Missouri State does win this football game, it's going to be based on how well they defend the pass. And we saw that they were effective in doing so against Oklahoma State. The other variable I want to toss in here, Jason Shelley, their starting quarterback, had a decent performance. He threw for over 200 yards, completed a good amount of his passes. I see him as a guy that maybe they don't necessarily win because of, but they won't lose because of any mistakes that he makes. So Shelley it's not necessarily like a high-powered quarterback battle that we hyped up with Quincy Patterson and Jared Undercuffler, but these are 2 quality quarterbacks that are going to be facing off against each other, but Smith obviously is the better one of the 2.
I think for both of these quarterbacks, by about week 4 or 5, we'll be able to tell what their mettle is, if they are going to be able to carry these teams to prominence this year, or if they're just going to kind of do their job but not carry that team. Whereas in the FCS, unless you got a great running back core or fantastic receivers, you need that quarterback to be there. We had the 1 year with Colgate where their defense was just suffocating, but it doesn't happen that often. Quarterback, broken record, most important. So week 4 or 5, we'll be able to tell, especially with these 2 teams, the way that they're built, how they will perform based on their quarterback play.
Right. Right. And as we know, having a good veteran quarterback at the FCS level is always an advantage. And that's probably why I'm going to lean a little bit more in the favor of Central Arkansas. But this one is going to be the one game that I'm going to be watching the closest. But there are still some pretty other good, fun matchups happening this weekend. And we're going to do our typical FC estimates coming up very, very soon. Before we do, though, folks, I just want to share with you something that you need to be reminded about. The partnership with Play Action Pools and Believe. It is a fantastic contest that is going to be running all season long. You'll be able to get in on the action with our playactionpools.com football pick'em challenge, which is open to everyone. Here's how it works. Sign up for our contest, Believe Football Pick'em, at playactionpools.com, and then get your picks in each week. We're going to select the 10 highest profile games of the week between NFL and college football. Whoever gets the most picks correct each week will win a pair of electric sunglasses and a pair of DC shoes. Again, go to playactionpools.com and sign up for the contest, BLEAV Football Pick'em. And if you plan on hosting your own football contest, go to playactionpools.com today. They've got Survivor, Pick'em, as well as a cool sportsbook-style concept called Build Your Bankroll. Playactionpools.com, your new home for all of your office sports pools. Yeah, it should be fun. See if you can pick better than Sean and I, which shouldn't be hard to pick better than me because I am a buffoon. But we both did pick pretty well this weekend, though, for FCS games, Sean, which is a surprise. Sean thought that he did terribly this week, but
well, I expect excellence.
Yeah, you expect excellence, apparently. And honestly, I think losing to you irks me less than tying you because I know that I should have beaten you is usually the circumstance. There's usually like one game in there. What?
Still no win for Joe in the fall. Still no win for Joe in the spring. This is just... I like this. I don't mind if I tie you because I'm still way up on you. I'm just... Whatever.
After
what are we both, 8 and
12?
It doesn't
week,
matter, bro. You just stink. You are just stink on ice.
You still pick a bunch of dumb games.
We'll find...
lucky.
We'll go out in December. We'll find a pond how it freezes over. Everyone will be skating. Just in the middle will be Joe sitting there. Stinking.
Thanks.
On the ice.
We're tied at 8 and 12.
Oh.
8-4-12. 8-4-12 is the wait, should we do 8 for 12 or 8 and 4?
8 for 12.
Okay. 8 for 12 is the current record for both of us.
75%. It's a little
low
for me, but you're sitting about where I
the first time we did it, you were in the 40s. The 40s.
I don't recall. You pull that tape.
Well, we have the numbers. It took you a while to climb back, but we were in the 40s. So let's rip through to our usual FC estimates. We'll pick these games. Stony Brook and Colgate, Sean.
No, I thought you were going to recap a couple of the wins and losses from last time.
No.
Of course not. Stony Brook.
I'm going with Stony Brook as well. Charleston Southern at the Citadel.
Give me the sit.
I'm gonna take the Citadel too. I don't know who's ever called it sit.
I call it sit.
Towson at UNH.
UNH. They rolled up on Stony Brook last week, and it's what are you gonna do? If they got the hot hand, I'm not gonna go against them.
Smart choice. I'm gonna take UNH also. It's not an easy trip to make. Bucknell at Villanova.
Give me the Vill.
I hate these horrible abbreviations. Villanova as well. Monmouth at Fordham.
Joe, I don't drive a Chevy. I drive a Ford.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask for some ham and cheese.
Fordham to win. Greenhagen's going for 50 tackles this week.
I would like to take Monmouth in this one. Southeastern Missouri versus Sam Houston State.
I'll take the Bearcats of Sam Houston State.
I'm going to start reading these notes you put in Doc. Sam Houston as well, for obvious reasons. Actually, I'm changing my pick on this one.
No,
I'm keeping Central Arkansas, Missouri State.
I'm leaning towards Central Arkansas in this game. Okay, I'm taking Central Arkansas. Let's see what Joe picked.
I wrote down Missouri State for some reason.
Oh, interesting.
Northern Iowa at Sacramento State.
Hold on, you could take it back if you want to.
No.
I don't want you to have any leverage saying you wouldn't let me take the pick back. Go ahead, take the pick if you want it.
Nope. Northern Iowa at Sacramento State.
Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa as well.
Oh my God, let me get down here
Drake at Montana State.
Montana State.
I saw that. I saw that. I took Montana State also. Jackson State at Tennessee State. Share with our listeners who you picked originally.
I'm going with Jackson State. That's how I'll divulge.
Sean originally picked Tennessee State. I am also picking Coach Prime, although they
Tennessee
barely
State
won.
Isn't bad.
They're not, and it's the two former NFL players facing off against each other that are now coaching their squads. So that should be fun.
Who's Tennessee State's? Eddie George?
Eddie George.
That's right.
Eddie George. Sean, that's going to be it from us. You got anything?
Sanderson Radio on Twitter is me. Joe DeLeone on Twitter is Joe. You can check out our YouTube page, YouTube NFL Prospects Pod.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said yeah.
Oh, I thought you said yeesh, like I butchered it.
No, I said yee. Subscribe, 5-star review.
You spoke so much better when you were on the East Coast.
Oh, I don't like it here, so I am going to come back to the East Coast. I admittedly don't like Los Angeles. This place sucks.
Why?
It just sucks. So
bunch
overrated.
Of old people. You thought it was going to be the hills with a bunch of 20-year-olds?
No, it's expensive. There's nothing fun to do. It's impossible to get around.
Joe DeLeone, the first person that's never found anything fun to do in Los Angeles.
There's nothing fun to do that doesn't cost a lot of money.
Ah, okay. Have you been in any fun clubs?
No, because those are impossible to get into. Unless you pay for a table.
Well, I don't think that would be that hard for you to do after I know how much money you make.
I make less than you do. And my monthly income is terrible because of my goddamn rent.
You know what, listeners, just DM me. I'll tell you how much he makes. I won't say it on air, but
you don't even know how much I. You don't even know how much I make.
Oh, I know about you, buddy.
No, you don't. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you later.